Hi, welcome back to Everyday Behavior. My name is Mary Ann Shepard, and today we are talking about prompt fading. So this whole series has been about prompting, different types of prompts, the prompting hierarchy, and today we're talking about prompt fading. So when we're looking at fading, when you're building a building, the scaffolding doesn't stay on the building for forever. At some point in time, you take it off. And so the same is true for prompt fading. Things that you want to think about is prompt fading should begin from the start. So one of the challenges we have is prompt dependence, where individuals become dependent on prompts and they can't really do things unless somebody tells them to do it or how to do it or when to do it. It becomes part of the rule or the structure of what they're supposed to be doing. And so you really want to begin fading as soon as possible. So with prompt fading, you want to plan it from the start, from day one. How are we going to fade the prompts? You want to do it gradually. So you don't want to just have prompts and then not have prompts. You don't want to go from a full physical prompt to a verbal prompt right away. So when they're taking the scaffolding off of the building, they do it gradually. They put it up as the building goes up and they take it down as it's not needed. So you want to make sure that you're doing it gradually, that you're not just suddenly removing all support. And then you want to increase it if necessary. So if maybe you drop down a prompt and you're like, oh, we didn't quite have that skill, we need to bump it back up. Increase it as necessary. It's not an all or nothing process. It may be a fluid process where you only provide a sufficient amount of support, not too much, not too little. You're looking just like in Goldilocks for that just right amount. You don't want to be too much or too little. So you want to do it gradually, but if you need to add a little bit of support back for one day, you maybe add a little bit of support back. Just because they're not getting it doesn't mean that you can't go back up your hierarchy and kind of work with them as you go. You want to make sure that as they are responding more independently, that you're maintaining that reinforcement or you're increasing that reinforcement. If they spontaneously do it all by themselves without any prompting. So you were planning on providing a gestural prompt and they went right ahead and did it for you. Or you were planning on a verbal prompt and they didn't need that prompt. If they don't need the prompt, you definitely want to increase your reinforcement for that independent responding. So maybe you're just providing verbal praise as the reinforcement, and then all of a sudden they do something independently. Maybe at that point in time, you add in a high five. Oh, like, wow, I'm so proud of you for doing that all by yourself or doing that on your own. So unprompted responses should receive a higher quality of reinforcement. So like I said, maybe for prompted responses, you're just providing a good job, way to go, you're doing great, kind of that verbal encouragement. But then if they do it independently, maybe you add in some physical high five, a fist bump. Maybe if they're working for edibles, you add in that edible for the independent responding. So when you're thinking about prompt fading, think about how you can do these or incorporate these as you go along. I want to provide some quick videos for our viewers just to see kind of what our prompt fading looks like. And so the first video that we're going to look at is a verbal prompt here. Let me get that video started for us. Like I've said in the past, if you've watched any of my past videos, technology is not my strength. And so just bear with me.
Good job. Oh, do you want an M&M? Yes. Oh, thank you for telling me. Yes, you can have an M&M.
Okay, so she said do this, and she responded independently to that imitation. So this is an imitation task where the child is supposed to do what the clinician says. So imitate her. And so the imitation is to touch her nose. But then she reaches without requesting for an M&M. And so she blocks it and gives a verbal prompt of what she should request. Now I want you to watch for that to be faded.
Good job. Good job. Oh, do you want an M&M? Yeah. Oh, good job, Kelly.
Okay, so you can see on the second time, she didn't say yes, she said yeah. So she started to fade that prompt out.
Yes, You can have an M&M.
Okay, we're going to watch another video here. This time we're going to watch a physical prompt faded to modeling.
That's clapping.
Okay, so she said, show me clapping, and she physically clapped her hands.
Show me clapping. Good job.
Okay, that was a
Show me
partial.
clapping. Good job.
So you can see in that the first one was a full physical. She faded that to a partial physical, and then a gestural
Good clapping.
or a
Thank
model,
you.
sorry. And we're going to watch one last video here. This video is fading our physical prompts.
Step up.
So that's a full physical,
Step up.
a partial physical,
Step up.
and then no
Good job,
independent
stepping
responding.
on yourself.
On that one, you can see that the independent responding got the higher rate of reinforcement. So fading prompts, I think sometimes we overanalyze or we overcomplicate our prompt fading. The biggest thing is you want it to be seamless. You want it to be where you're just providing a sufficient amount, but not too much support so that you're continually fading that. In order to prevent or reduce the likelihood of prompt dependence, you want to make sure that you have a fading plan from the start and that you're doing it quickly as you go along. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you have found this information to be helpful and to be useful. I do encourage you, if you like these, if you like these videos, to follow us or like us on Facebook. Also, I encourage you to hit the red subscribe button below. And you can also find more information on our website at www.everydaybehaviors.com. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.